When students hear the word drop two voicings, immediately they think of these beautiful Bill Evans voicings. That sound really, really gorgeous, and they go towards those and start learning them and kind of just absolutely stumble. Now, the reason drop two voicings up here don't really work that well for a lot of situations is because A, they sit right over top of most melodies. I'm playing a C major 7 drop two voicing of a rootless voicing, and this is going to sit literally over top of most melodies. So if I'm comping or using this in some sort of group, I'm literally going to be interfering with the melody. I'm sitting right over top of it. A lot of these harmonics are going to kind of clash with the melody, so comping in this area really isn't the best, especially with these beautiful drop two voicings here. The other thing is that utilizing these drop two voicings over a solo does the exact same thing. So if I'm comping here, it's literally sitting in the register where most people start to solo. So the mere fact that this is the hardest thing to learn in jazz, one of the hardest things in jazz piano to learn, and combine that with the fact that it actually really clashes with the melody and solos, is probably not the best way to start. So luckily for you, I'm going to teach you a drop two voicing that actually includes the root, and it's going to be shifted down on the piano, which is really going to help support the melody, support the whoever's improvising, right? They're going to sound lush, rich, and balanced, and they're actually so much easier to learn. I'm going to show you that in just a second.
My name is Brendan Lowe, creator and founder of Jazz Piano School. If you're enjoying this content, we release new lesson videos just like this one every single week, so don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button down below. Also, be sure to check out jazzpianoschool.com for all the other free education we have available. And I just opened enrollment for my new live teaching program that starts this fall, September 2nd, 2025. You can go to jazzpianoschool.com/live program discount to check that out. With that being said, let's dive back in.
All right, now again, don't get me wrong. I love comping with these beautiful drop twos up here. It sounds great. I love that. I love it. It's great. It's a classic style. But again, there's a time and a place to use those. And the majority of my comping actually isn't using or sitting right in that register to comp with the drop twos. Most of the time, I'm down in the lower range for the reasons I told you up front, playing things like this. So how does that sound to you, right, compared to this stuff? They both sound great. Again, don't get me wrong. But the drop two voicings that I'm playing down here are so much easier to play. And they sit in a beautiful register that's actually going to really give you this beautiful, low, professional sounding voicing. These voicings can get high, thin, and tinny, and they have to be used very, very specifically, which most students don't actually know when and how to use these voicings, right? So let me check this out. Here's the voicing that I'm going to teach you. It's so easy, like literally a beginner student can play it. In my right hand, I'm going to be playing a G minor rootless voicing. This is just a B flat major 7 chord in root position, by the way. This is my G minor rootless voicing. In my left hand, I'm going to have 1 and 7. So I'm going to teach you two formats to this. Here's 1 and 7. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a 2-5-1. In my 2-5-1, that's all I was really playing in that last demonstration. All right, so this is your first setup you want to get down. You want to practice your rootless voicing with your 1s and 7s. Voice lead through into your dominant chord. So again, I'm just playing my right hand rootless voicing. I'm going to my C7 rootless voicing. I'll play some bass notes so you can hear that. And then into my F major 7 rootless voicing, right? So G minor 7, C7, F major 7. So for now, your right hand's only doing rootless voicings. That's it. So A, you got to learn your rootless voicings. If you don't know your rootless voicings, you're not going to be able to do this, right? So this is, again, why rootless voicings are so important. My left hand is going to have the root in it. Yes, it's going to have the root in it, right? Drop two voicing okay? Contrary to popular belief or what students see on the internet, they don't always have to be rootless. You can absolutely have the root in there, and you absolutely should to sound like a pro. So I'm gonna have 1 and 7 in here. We're not creating a drop 2 just yet, okay? We don't have the drop 2 yet, okay? But this is the first setup to practice. So 1 and 7. My left hand's gonna move to 1 and 3, and then to 1 and 7. Just look at my left hand here, right? 1 and 7, 1 and 3, 1 and 7, okay? This is structure 1. Right, so again, right hand rootless voicing, left hand 1 and 7. Right hand rootless voicing, 1 and 3. Right hand rootless voicing, 1 and 7. Here's where we easily create the drop 2 without a headache, without irritation, without annoyance, and literally gaining just the ability to play these so fast, literally within 10 minutes. It's absolutely amazing. I'm gonna play my rootless voicing. To create the drop 2 voicing, I'm actually gonna remove a note. I'm gonna remove a note. I don't even have to add any additional notes. And the note I'm gonna remove is the 3rd finger in my right hand, right? So I'm gonna lift my 3rd finger up here. You see that? So now I've just created a drop 2 arranged voicing of my right hand. The G has nothing to do with this. I've actually just created the drop 2 by removing this note because I've dropped the 2nd voice from the top down to the bottom here, which I already had. So my teaching system allows you to do this in a different way that's actually so much easier. So now I've created this drop 2. I'm gonna keep my 3rd finger up the entire time. When I move to my next chord, see this E natural I was playing before? I already have it down here, so I'm just gonna keep my 3rd finger up. I've also created a drop 2 here, and boom, I've created a drop 2 here. So we create the drop 2 voicings by just keeping our right hand 3rd finger up and moving through our 2-5-1. You see that? G minor 7, my 3rd finger's up. C7, my 3rd finger's up. F major 7, my 3rd finger's up. Okay, let's do a different key. Key of B flat, C minor 7, right? I'm gonna remove my 3rd finger. F7, remove my 3rd finger. B flat major 7, remove my 3rd finger. Okay, so you have to practice setup number 1 with your 3rd finger first, and then just remove it. Drop 2, drop 2, drop 2, right? So that's structure 1. You can do it with the other structure 2. Here's your structure 2 rootless voicings. Okay, so here's what this looks like. It's the same thing, but just inverted. So now I have my left hand is moving from 1 and 3 to 1 and 7 to 1 and 3. My right hand is playing my other rootless voicing structure, just like this. See this? Right, so now I practice this. Okay, just do it in one key first, just to get the feeling of it, right? The shapes. Okay, I got it. Now I'm gonna lift my right hand 3rd finger again. So I'm gonna lift that, and then boom, I've created my lower drop 2 voicings with my roots. These are so gorgeous. Whoops, that note's stuck there. You have to know these in order to sound like a pro, I promise you, even more so than the other ones. This helps with solo piano voicing so much as well. The other ones don't really help that much with solo piano because they're more for fills. These help you voice in cocktail style ballads, slow swing tunes. These are absolutely crucial, and like these should be worked on first before the other ones. So that's how we do that there. So we have essentially 2 different styles. Now there's a lot of cool textures and things I was doing in the demonstration. I'm going to show you those now. All I'm doing here is taking that G minor 7 and I'm going back and forth between my right hand note and I'm going down the diatonic scale. So whatever key I'm in, I'm just going to go down the diatonic scale. So I'm in the key of F here. So here's my F major scale. So my right hand pinky is just moving down by a whole step. And my left hand is moving down by a half step. And this sounds really, really cool to pivot back and forth, right? And I kind of replay the whole chord again at the end. Right? You can move up and down the scale, the diatonic scale, to create these beautiful 3rd type motions. I went up by a half step and just did the same thing. So A flat minor drop 2. F major 7, right? You can come down the scale, the diatonic scale here. So again, I'm taking my top notes in my both fingers and moving them up and down the scale. Again, here what I'm doing, I'm breaking my left hand. So I'm playing bass note first. So you get the sound of the root, but you get a little rhythmic displacement. I can even hold that down if I want to create more of a pedal tune. When I switch back and forth like this, it sounds like I'm kind of going back and forth between a G minor 7 to a C7. Because I'm kind of resolving. It's more of like a resolution to the C7, but I'm not hitting the root here in the C7, but it's still creating that drop 2 with the 5th in the bass of that C chord. So these are really cool things you can play around with. The other thing I did, okay, so now this is very advanced. This is a very advanced way to kind of comp into your drop 2s. So I'm playing over a B flat minor 7 here. At the top, I'm playing the exact same thing I just showed you though. Your drop 2, okay? Your drop 2 with the root here. But what I'm doing is I'm taking my B flat chord and in thirds, here's my B flat minor 7. I'm spelling out the chord in thirds, right? So I have B flat in my left hand, the 3rd in my right hand, the 3rd in my left hand, the 5th in my right hand, the 5th in my left hand, the 7th, and I'm kind of adding this half step below approach. And then I'm moving all the way up to my drop 2, all the way up here. And then utilizing that resolution there. Whoops. Right? So these are just kind of little finesse movements, but again, don't start with that. You want to build your foundation and really kind of tackle just your regular drop 2s through your 2-5-1s, then lift your 3rd finger, play your drop 2s, get them really happening in the keys first, and then you can start to really add on all that other finesse. So again, I'd really take a break on these drop 2s up here. They're more used for fills and different types of textures and movements, especially if you're playing a lot of solo piano and you're focused in solo piano. You really don't, I don't use these much more except for fills, right? A lot of my solo piano voicings are gonna come from here, and if you haven't practiced these yet, this could really, I promise you, completely transform your playing if you spend some time working on this rather than spending time working on this stuff. Right? Those, again, a huge difference in the purpose of each voicing, when you use them, how you use them, and how they're going to help you progress so much faster. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll talk to you next time.
Again, I hope you guys all enjoyed that free lesson video. I release new free lesson videos just like that. And if you're looking for the audio version, there is a podcast on all the streaming platforms. If you haven't gone to jazzpianoschool.com, definitely do so, because there's hundreds, thousands of pieces of educational information that can help you achieve your jazz piano dream. And I highly recommend you go to jazzpianoschool.com/roadmap to check out my free ebook on the system I use to teach thousands and thousands of jazz piano students how to successfully play jazz piano like they've always wanted. And again, my live teaching programs are now open for enrollment. You can go to jazzpianoschool.com/live program discount to check that out. That's really for the students that want some live interaction with myself, with my team, with teachers, live feedback. And those are going to close September 2nd, Tuesday, 2025, when the program does start. There's 2 different tiers. You can sign up for 3 months or 9 months, whatever you want. If you have any questions, please write into support@jazzpianoschool.com. We're always available to help you out and answer any questions you have. But again, whatever video is coming up next, I highly encourage you to continue to watch on the channel. Again, like and subscribe this, because I do release videos every single week so you can stay in the loop. All right, with that being said, hope you have a great day and happy practicing.